Hello everybody, TMG here, back with another video. I think everyone's been wondering, what is Nintendo planning for Mario's 40th anniversary? They've been pretty quiet about it, and it seems to be coming up. There was a supposed leak that there's a new Super Mario Bros. Collection being made for the Switch 2, and even though this leak was debunked, or it was a fake leak, I still think this is actually genuine possibility. I could actually see Nintendo releasing a new Super Mario Brothers collection. I mean, just look at Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Nintendo loves to re-release old games, especially, Super Mario All-Stars, that game was released twice. So, that says a lot about how, Nintendo likes to re-release games. But, part of the idea of an anniversary is that we're celebrating something. We're celebrating something's past, present, and future. And one of the best ways to do that is by using older games, re-releasing older games. And, this is good for Nintendo because it doesn't cost as much money. It's a game that's already there. You really just have to, make it run at a higher resolution and make it run on newer hardware. And it's good for fans who missed out on those games originally. So yeah, I could genuinely see there being a new Super Mario Bros. Collection. But that is not what I want to talk about today in this video. I genuinely think that Super Mario Bros. Wonder might have a sequel that is coming up pretty soon. And I know what you're thinking. Super Mario Bros. Wonder only came out a few years ago in 2023. And well, yes, it has only been 2 years since Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out. I could see, Nintendo announcing this September, Mario's 40th anniversary, that there's a sequel to Super Mario Bros. Wonder that's in development or maybe even coming out this Christmas. And so I think that could be cool. And the reason I think this is because in lots of interviews with the staff that made Super Mario Bros. Wonder, so many of them said there were so many wonders we didn't get to use. There's so many ideas we didn't get to use that we wanted to use before, we released the game. And I could see them reusing the same engine, and really just making more Super Mario Bros. Wonder, So it wouldn't necessarily be like, a sequel in terms of like it advances the plot or meaning of things in the Mario universe. It would just be more of the same. That would be alright, and that would be quick for Nintendo to develop. I could see them making something like that in 2 years. And for a successful game like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, yeah, that would sell pretty well. But I do find an issue with this because though it is very possible that Nintendo could be releasing a successor to Super Mario Bros. Wonder fairly soon, me personally, I don't want the same game again, you know what I mean? Even if the wonders are new, I don't want the same game again. I want Super Mario Bros. Wonder 2 to stand apart from the first game, you know what I mean? I don't want Super Mario Bros. Wonder again. I want a true successor, a true sequel that improves and builds off the game, not just in terms of gameplay, but, in terms of story, in terms of meaning with villains. I think Bowser over the years, Bowser's not as cool as he used to be. In the classic games, his appearances were very meaningful. We always learned something new about his character. Like in Super Mario Bros. 3, we learned that, that his character is fairly intelligent. He's able to trick Mario into leaving the Mushroom Kingdom so that he can kidnap the princess. In Super Mario 64, we learn that Bowser is kind of a bully. We really get to see a side of his personality we never saw before. And then in Super Mario Sunshine, we actually see a softer, kinder side of Bowser, because Bowser Jr. is his son. We get to see the side of Bowser we've never seen before. But in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, we didn't really learn anything interesting or new about Bowser, aside from the fact that he likes music, I guess, which I don't really think that's meaningful. So, Bowser has become more of a static character over the years, and that's alright. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But, looking at the classic games and seeing how Bowser used to be a very meaningful villain, I really I really want Nintendo to do one of two things. Either one, give Bowser a break. You know, I don't. I'd be really happy to see villains like King Wart or Tatanga or Wario return, because Nintendo could easily do a lot with those characters to further develop them and make them meaningful in new games. Or two, they could really work hard to make Bowser's appearance meaningful in the next game, and this would be more difficult. Why? Because even if his appearance is meaningful, he was still like a static character in the last 5 or so games. It just, regardless of what you do with Bowser in the next game, that what happened in the previous 5 games is still gonna rub off a little. It's still gonna cheapen it a little. So I really think what they need to do is give Bowser a break for the next Mario game or two, and then make him return. Make Bowser cool again. You know what I mean? Because when a character disappears from a series for a while, then when they reappear, there's a lot of build up to that. It becomes a really cool moment. I feel like this is something that's been going on with King Wart. King Wart is a fan favorite Mario villain, and for years people have been wanting him to return, me included. In Super Mario Bros. Wonder, so many of us were theorizing that King Wart was going to return, and we were kind of disappointed to see that he didn't, and then it was just Bowser doing his thing again. So all I'm saying is I don't want Super Mario Bros. Wonder to be more of the same, and it easily could be that because it's only been 2 years since the first game, but I really want the developers to make this game meaningful, make it a true successor instead of, because a true sequel isn't just more of the same. It really develops things. It, not just in terms of gameplay, but in terms of story, in terms of meaning. There's just a lot of potential here. And though I don't think Nintendo is going to try to make this game more meaningful, I think it's much more likely they do more of the same. That is something I'm crossing my fingers for in a sequel to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But I think either way, if the game is good, I'll be fairly happy. In a way, it's kind of unfair to compare newer Mario games to the classic games because the classic games were basically perfect. Like in terms of gameplay, in terms of story, in terms of making each game feel meaningful and different. In a way, it's unfair to compare the newer games to the classic games because the newer games aren't trying to be like the classic games. They're trying to be a little more static, a little more safe in a way. But I'm still crossing my fingers that we will really get a game like Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, or 3 again. Because even though Super Mario Bros. Wonder was good, I don't hold it in as high regard as something like Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, or 3. And I don't have the desire to go back to it as much just because I feel like the classic games offer more. But that's just me, that's I bet there's a lot of people that don't like a lot of the more arcadey tropes in the classic games, but I really like those. So yeah, tell me what you're hoping for Super Mario's 40th anniversary. What would you want out of a sequel to Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Or, are you wanting a 3D Mario game? Now, I don't think a 3D Mario game is going to happen anytime soon because it was the Mario Odyssey team that developed Donkey Kong Bonanza. That game just finished development, so it's unrealistic they'd have even anything to show for right now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope this really got the gears going in your brain about what's going on with Mario. So yeah, TMG out. Goodbye.